Welcome, folks, and welcome to another edition of Champions League Digest. And I have someone who is always on the other side of presenting, but now we need to hear from Justice Mount. He has to be on the hot seat today. And I brought Wale Adigun into the studio to dissect the Champions League. Not to dissect, we tilt a bit to the Europa League and, of course, the Conference League as well. But our main focus is the Champions League. Because on the other side, we have the newcomers. They call us the new takers. On the other side, the old takers who have won the Champions League before. Odiwa, welcome to the studio.
It's good to be in your studios for the first time.
Ever.
This is beautiful, and you need to be here. But it's good to be here, and I mean the timing is perfect. Champions League final, semi-final, eve.
Eve, yeah.
You know, so let's digest everything. Let's dissect everything.
Well, before we go into the semi-final games, what are your thoughts on the new format of the Champions League?
Oh, brilliant format, man. I thought that it came in for a lot of stick initially, maybe because people didn't understand the Swiss model. So, and naturally, we are reluctant to change. Human beings are like that. But what we've realized that this format has been giving us back-to-back big games. And look at the team that topped the league phase, Liverpool. They got knocked out by a side that were almost getting knocked out of the league phase, PSG. So, same thing also applies to Real Madrid. So, it's been a fantastic phase. Bring it again next season. I'm very, very, very much up for it. It seemed to be a lot of money as well, plenty of games as well. I heard Liverpool got £85 million, for even topping that league phase alone. So there's a lot of money in there, but I'm in love with it. And I get a feeling that people are finally come around to that system.
And talking about, coming around, Inter Barcelona second leg. Were you surprised from what transpired in the first leg? 3-3, nobody saw that coming. And Inter were, domestically they were not doing well. And in the Champions League, went to Barcelona and scored 3 goals.
Oh yeah, I was surprised because Inter came into that game having not scored in their last 3 matches. Against AC Milan in the Coppa Italia, against Roma in the Serie A. I think they also played the goalless draw of Bologna as well in the Serie A. So I was very surprised that they could go to a very difficult place, Montjuic Stadium, and score 3 goals. In fact, they took a 2-goal lead. Before Barcelona clawed their way back. They could also have won the game if not for the VAR call that denied them that could have been a late winner for 4-3. So I was impressed with their performance. Maybe I was not impressed with the way they defended. On a night when we were reminiscing when Jose Mourinho's Inter,
lock shop.
I mean, Jose will be watching that game and he'll be like, oh, man.
I was scored, yeah. You got a score back.
I mean, you get a feel that this second leg is a game made for Jose Mourinho, if there was an away goal, basically. But credit to Inter. I thought Barcelona, credit to them as well. They played some fantastic football, especially that time when they were 2-0 down. Lamine Yamal was just something. I mean, Federico Di Marco, I'm sure that guy had nightmares, because, in fact, not until Simone Inzaghi, the manager, took him out, that Inter had a semblance of stability when, Carlos Augusto, came on. But very good game, classic game. That's how a game of football should be like.
And, going to the second leg, a lot of injury worries for both sides. For Barcelona, Balde, Lewandowski, who got out in the first leg. Even Martinez, he didn't play against Verona, in that game. Inter. Would the injuries to these key players affect the outcome of the game for both sides? Yeah,
I mean, don't expect a 3-3 again. That's one thing. Don't expect a 3-3 in the second leg. It's going to be a bit more cagey. Thankfully, there's no away goals. So we are all starting again from square one again, which makes for interesting watch. But for Barcelona, crucially, Balde, has become a very crucial part of how they play their football. I mean, especially in that part of the pitch. It was a big miss even in the first leg for them. But I think they will also miss Lewandowski more. They miss his experience, his his efficiency up front, because they will always create chances. But they need somebody to finish it off at the end. So they're going to miss him. I hear it's uncertain. I think they will have to assess him. But I'm not sure it's going to start. Jules Koundé also is a very big miss. You like it or not, he has popped up in crucial times. He won them the Copa del Rey, was also crucial in this first leg as well. So it is going to be a big miss for them. For Inter, I get the feeling that they have something up their sleeves. I think Lautaro Martinez is going to play. They took him off in that first leg. I heard it was a precaution. Then the last Verona game also was a precaution. They need him. I don't think he played well in that first leg was more of Marcus Thuram, but they need him. He's a big player. He's a big game player, and he's also their captain as well. So I get a feeling that he will play a part. And Inter are well rested. If you saw their lineup against Hellas Verona, if you put money on them to straight win, you go they shake, because it was a very a lineup that was not strong, but they found a way to beat Hellas Verona by a goal to nil. I think that was on Saturday night. So it makes for a good game. But will the injuries play a part? Maybe a bit. But what I know is that you are not going to see a 6-goal thriller again at the San Siro.
Okay, you touched on the brilliance of Lamine Yamal, and 17 years, he has played more than 100 games. What school of thought are you? Is this game too much for a guy at 17? Oh
yeah, it is. It is. I raised that on X. When Barcelona posted that he had marked the 100 games after the Inter game. His stats are very good. I mean, I'm not sure any player comes close to those statistics at 17. Not even Messi, not Ronaldo. I know that they've been comparing with Kylian Mbappe as well, but man, this guy has been unreal at 17. But players are playing too many games. How can a 17-year-old have amassed 100 games? That is at top level. Yes, at top level. That is that, and
we're not talking about what he's doing at the country
at the international level. Yes, where he started playing. I think he got his first call up when he was 16. I know he's a big game player. If you look at his big game moments, this guy has a clutch of big game moments. Euros, Champions League, Copa. He has it. He has a fine catalogue. But players are, and the worrying thing is Barca are not learning, because I know that Pedri also went on this run and played Olympics, played La Liga, played Euros,
played cadets, played the senior
team. You get, and he broke down.
Yeah.
Fine. Thankfully, he's back and playing some fantastic football now. Gavi also went on that run. And I think that is something that we need to really. They say if you are good enough, if you are young enough, you are good enough. I understand, but look at the likes of Michael Owen. They also started out like this. I was on fire. But the moment the injury started coming and he was not healing properly, when he was supposed to be in his peak years, he couldn't play anymore. When he was at Real Madrid, Newcastle, he had lost a yard of pace. But I know that there are exceptions, like Messi, Ronaldo. So maybe Lamine Yamal, who is a generational talent. I mean, Simone Inzaghi said players like this only come every 50 years. And I understand. But clubs need to take it very, very easy on these very young players.
And, let's talk about the manager of Barcelona. Copa del Rey as a flick, Copa del Rey in the bag. Can as a flick win another treble?
Man, he's an expert at winning trebles. It's not beyond him. It's not beyond him. I think he did the treble with Bayern.
Yeah.
Yes, no. So, and he has never lost a final. Yeah. He has never. I think he's done 7 finals. He has never lost a final. I think they are favorites going into tomorrow's game as well. So, I mean, if he makes the final, there's a chance that he can do the treble. La Liga is almost sewn up, but I mean, Madrid are still struggling. They say, okay, we're not going to agree. They still beat Celta Vigo, although they managed 3-2. Yeah. But there's a Clásico next week, right? And if Barca had qualified for the final of Champions League this week, they know that let's just go all in and destroy. They're beating Madrid like aggregate of 12-2 this season already. So they are favorites. I think they win the league. They won the Copa del Rey already. If they make it to the final of the Champions League, I think they are favorites. Is it PSG? I think they'll beat them. So I think that it's possible. But also remember that Barcelona, as a football club this season, their women's team, their B team, they have all done the treble. The B team did the Champions League, Youth Champions League. Yeah. They won their league. They won the cup. Now, the women's too.
Is it the final?
They are in the final of the Champions League. They've won the league. They've won the cup. Now, they're about to do a treble of trebles in the season. That's magnificent.
But let's just round off Inter Barcelona. So how do you look at that game? Who is going to win it? Where is it going to be won? Is it just a key players from both sides?
Yeah, I think it's going to be cagey this time around. For Barcelona, I mean, look no further, Lamine Yamal. But if I'm going to go by the rule of thumb, Yamal ruled, the first leg. Yeah. It might be the turn of Rafinha to rule the second leg. So I think it was a bit quiet in that first leg, but it's a bit fresh. I saw him in the game against Valladolid, took his goal well. He's well rested as well. So this might be Rafinha's, time to shine. But look no further. That guy, Lamine Yamal, the way Barcelona play, that they are trying to funnel the ball towards that guy because he can make things really happen. So, I mean, Yamal and Rafinha. But crucially, whoever plays at left back for Barcelona will have to be very high on alert. Denzel Dumfries, that boy is a problem. He was out for a while. Yeah. He's come back, and we saw what he did in the first leg. I think he scored 2 goals and an assist. You know, so he will be roaming again at that part of the pitch.
Where there's Martinez.
And there's Inigo Martinez most likely to play at left back. So I think that Denzel Dumfries is a very key player for Inter. Another key thing for Inter, he might not be a player, but set pieces. We've seen how they hurt Barcelona with set pieces. So I think that Inter will be looking to get more of those set pieces to see if they could get something.
So I wanted to call it Inter Barcelona.
Man, I've had high praise for Barcelona. I don't like them, right? After what they did to Arsenal in 2006, but I think that there's only one team stopping Barcelona from winning the Champions League, and it is Barcelona. I think they will find a way. If there was away goals, it would have been a different conversation.
Yeah.
You know, because Inter could just put a defensive masterclass up. It's an Italian side, right? They probably play goalless, but I think Barcelona have a goal or 2 in them. They will qualify.
And let's move to the big one, which of course is the that's what everybody wants to listen to. PSG against Arsenal.
Yeah.
First leg, even for Arteta, it didn't go as planned. Nobody expected that early goal, which disrupted the plan for Arteta. But before we talk about the first leg, how are you seeing the second leg? With the fact that Arsenal, I don't know, maybe psychologically they have tuned off from the domestic league. How are you seeing that mentality again in the Champions League?
Man, second leg is going to be, if Inter Barcelona is going to be caged in second leg, this is going to be all guns blazing. Because, see, you have to go all out. You have nothing else. You have to go all out and try to win the game, and win it well. Because even a 1-0 win does not help you. It just takes you to, extra time. So, I'm expecting a very explosive game. Interestingly, the two sides all lost domestically, in their leagues, although PSG have won the title already, and they lined up a very, 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 very young side.
Yeah,
Did you see that lineup?
10 changes.
They made 10 changes.
Yeah.
But for Arsenal, the team that played Bournemouth is the team that is most likely to start against PSG in the second leg, and they still lost at home to Bournemouth, who, by the way, have done the double, over the Gunners. But I think it's going to be very much explosive. Arsenal know that, this is the game of the season for them. Forget Madrid. Madrid has come and gone. This is our game of the season. This is the game where our season is defined. Because if Arsenal do get to the Champions League and maybe even lose, it will be deemed as a successful season, for them. So I think that it's going to be end-to-end. Yeah. The first leg was also good. Really, really good football. It just didn't produce, enough goals. But I think Arsenal realized here that they have to go for broke. But I hope that it doesn't leave them very, very much exposed at the back, like we saw in that first leg where PSG could probably have scored 2 or 3 goals.
Let's talk about injuries and suspension for both sides. Dembele could miss the second leg, and Partey back into the team after suspension. Which is it going to be effective for both sides? Partey coming back to Arsenal and Dembele missing out for PSG.
These are 2 key factors for both sides. Dembele is crucial to how they play their football. You saw him in the first leg. He was just disappearing all over the pitch. You see him as the centre forward. You see him as the 8. You could see him on the left. At a point in time, Dembele was playing left back. He was very dynamic and fluid, and that confused Arsenal and Arteta. They didn't see this coming at all. So for PSG to potentially miss him for tomorrow's game, it's going to harm them. And even if he's going to play, there's a feeling that he might not be 100%. Because how do you miraculously recover from a hamstring in 7 days? It's not, I don't think it's medically possible. But if he plays a part, fine for them. But if he doesn't, it's going to be a massive miss. But they have fantastic players. We saw them. Kvaratskhelia, there's Bakola, Gonzalo Ramos. We've got exciting players. But Dembele is just crucial. That guy has got 25 goals this year. Nobody has come close. I think he's on 33 goals, and 45 goal involvements this season as well for them. So if you don't have that player play against them, Arsenal is a big miss. For Arsenal, people don't want to always admit, but Thomas Partey is very important. He's the crucial cog in that Arsenal midfield. This season alone, I don't know about other seasons, but Partey has been Arsenal's most important player, alongside Declan Rice.
Maybe that's why they are, extending his contract.
Maybe that's why. I mean, that guy is potentially playing for a contract, man. Because there are rumors that Arsenal wanted him to go. But based on what we have seen, the body of work this season, man, you need to keep him around for at least a year again. So, and you look at the goal Arsenal considered. Partey will have been in that spot that Dembele received that ball, right? That's the Partey zone. So I don't think that Dembele will have gotten the freedom of the city to be able to roam and get that ball to Kvaratskhelia, who returned it back to him. So Partey brings stability to that midfield for the Gunners, and crucially, he allows Declan Rice to perform in that box-to-box role that he's been doing all this season. So I think for Arsenal, Partey's return is more of a bigger boost than for PSG. And remember, even Partey got a stupid yellow card in that game against Madrid. If you remember, he shouldn't have been missing from the first leg. It was a very, very needless yellow card that led to his suspension. So I think that these two players, one coming back, one potentially missing, can just define that second leg for both sides.
And Arsenal fans have come hard on Martin Odegaard. He's not up to standard from last season, maybe through injury. Are you also in the school of thought that he has to step up his game?
Oh yeah, he has to. He's captain of the team. I know that he leads the press from the front, but he needs to also lead, in terms of the performance levels. The performance level hasn't been really good, although there's a caveat here. I mean, Odegaard, remember, suffered that injury during the international break with Norway. I think it was his ankle. And I'm even hearing that he might still need surgery after the season is done. So I don't think that he's performing at optimal level. But even since he came back, he has played 37 matches, I think, or almost 37 matches. I don't think that we've seen that Odegaard we saw 2 seasons ago that got into double figures in goals. But big players need to show up in big moments. I thought he was decent against Real Madrid. But that PSG first leg, no. He was not even showing up for the ball. He was playing it safe. Those risky needle-eye passes this guy used to throw now? We didn't see anything. So, I mean, Arteta has to speak to him. Some are even saying that Arteta needs to make a big decision and drop him for Ethan Nwaneri, but I don't subscribe to that. I think Odegaard should still start. The Saka, at least, that triangle, there's Jurgen Timber as well, maybe Ben White as well. If he finds his marble, see, when Odegaard plays, Arsenal plays. Because he knits them together with the passes. He also leads the press from the front when they don't have the ball as well. So I'm hoping that is reserving the best for the last, and in Paris, he can show up.
Before you call it, let's just, just 60 seconds. What would be a good season for Arteta? 6 months here, it looks like things are falling apart. What would be, you are going to next season, you have like a confident booster of what, the outlook of next season would look. But for this season, what would be a good season for Arteta?
Okay. A good season. Not a great season, right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's just declare, is it good or great?
No, of course, if it's great, you want something.
Yeah.
You could say that, when you sit at the table with the board, if okay, you did well, let's continue.
I think Arsenal have had a good season already. Nobody saw them get into the semi-final of the Champions League. Let's be very honest. Nobody even saw them beating Real Madrid and doing it in that manner. 5-2 or 5-1 on aggregates. Nobody saw that coming. So I think Arsenal have had a good season. They most likely will also still qualify for the Champions League. They still have a 3-point lead on Man City, who are third. I think Newcastle also drawing helps their case. So if they make the Champions League, which they will definitely do, and they still make the semi-finals, they've had an good season. But a great season, Pooja, is winning the Champions League.
And let's leave the Champions League before we talk about other things. Let's talk about Man United and Bilbao. It's incredible. Man United have been phenomenal, in the Europa League. But in the league, Amorim has been, drinking a lot of goals. I think 25% win ratio. What would, if you are the maybe sporting director high in hierarchy at Man United, what will you be thinking about Amorim from next season? Are you going to be satisfied even if we win the Europa League with the form in the league?
I won't be satisfied, but the only grace he has is that he still doesn't have his players. He's only signed one player of his own volition. That's Patrick Dogu from Lecce. So I can give him that and say, okay, you know what? Let's give him a proper summer, a proper preseason. Remember, this guy even wanted to come at the end of the season, but United said, we cannot wait. Come join us right now. So, but I'm going to give him one full summer to bring in players, have a proper preseason, have a proper look at the players. But somewhere in my head, I'll be saying that this guy has made this team worse.
Because even if you don't have your player, they are not playing well.
Crucially, let's take a look at Wolves. Vitor Pereira.
Yeah.
He didn't sign players. They brought him from, I think, Saudi Arabia or whatever. And Wolves were neck deep in relegation trouble. But that guy...
There was a game, if Ipswich won, they were level with Wolves.
They beat Ipswich. Yes, it was a 6-pointer. Yeah, they beat Ipswich. You know, and guess what? Pereira came at the same time Amorim came. It was almost the same time, maybe even the same week, in fact. Because Wolves under Pereira played almost the same number of games as Amorim at United. But look at the work Pereira has done. And that is where you see the work, the evidence of coaching. He has coached Wolves out of trouble. Now Wolves are like 12 points or even 10 points away from the relegation zone. They are not even thinking about it. That is the impact you're expecting a Ruben Amorim to also have at United. Why? Because United have better players than Wolves. Let's be honest. United squad, as bad as a bad reach, they have better players than Wolves. So where is the impact of coaching? Maybe we've seen it in Europe. But European football sometimes is about, moment. Exactly. A true reflection of a team is in its domestic form. Yeah. So we have not seen that United has been coached well, by Ruben Amorim. But I'm going to give him the grace of this season. But I won't lie to you. He has made United worse. Erik ten Hag's side were playing better than this. Let's be very honest. Let's keep it a 100. He's made them worse. But if he gets his proper summer, brings in his players, he still insists he wants to play 3 at the back. No, wala, go on. But you know what me I used to say? If it's not going well, you sack the manager.
And, just a little of banter, Harry Kane won his first...
oh, yeah, finally. His first major trophy.
And, Spurs could win their first major trophy in so many years. It looks like it's going to be Man United Spurs in the final of the league.
Yeah, I think so. And if
you look at the form, it's like they are twins in the league.
Man, they are like 6, 14 and 15.
They are on page 2 of the league.
And it is so strange that these two sides who have had an abominable season, about one of them will make the Champions League this season.
From down.
Exactly, from the trenches. And that's why I agree with people like Arsene Wenger who say that because winning the Europa League doesn't mean you have to qualify for the Champions League. No. If you win the Europa League, you should earn the right to automatically qualify for the Europa League.
Why upgrade you?
Why upgrade you to the Champions League? For what? I understand you put a sweetener so the Europa League can be more appealing to the teams. No. It's a bad reflection. Look at England. England's going to have 5 teams already in the Champions League this season. Now, United or Spurs, who are very useless teams this season, are now going to join them. I know the mathematics is not really adding up. But see, it is what it is. But that's football for you. Guess what? United can win the Europa League and suddenly their season becomes a successful one.
Yeah.
Spurs can also win the Europa League and their season becomes...
The manager said, I win trophy
in my second season. So that's validation. So it's a very, very strange one. But there's a note of caution, especially in that United. I think Spurs will find a way to go through against Bodo, although it's a difficult place. Lazio saw hell in those conditions. But I have a feeling that Bilbao might still find a way to give United worries. Bilbao were playing well until that red card.
Yeah.
First 20 minutes, they were all over United. Goal line clearance.
And like almost...
goal line clearance from Lindelof until that red card came. And if Bilbao can get that first goal at Old Trafford on Thursday night, United now. United can be... United were drinking goals against Brentford.
Even a Tema Lyon was...
And Tema Lyon, yes. Almost won the game.
Goals,
So if Bilbao scored the first goal early enough against United at Old Trafford, trust me, there'll be jitters. But you still get a feeling that United should have enough quality. They have not lost in Europe. In fact, I think they're the only team in all European competitions this season that have not lost. So they hold on to that. And they are also well rested. You see the lineup against Brentford. So Bruno Fernandes, big player for them. So I think they'll do enough. So United Spurs, the final.
And before we leave, Chelsea just sat at the Conference League. But, for Maresca, top 5 looks like, a big... because they're still going to play Nottingham Forest, Newcastle, big teams, like 3 games to go. But what will be a successful season for Enzo Maresca? He came on from Leicester City. It looks like they have chunk of players, but it looks like their season is going to end on a good note. Yeah,
I think Chelsea fans they are very demanding, because they've gone through managers who have delivered trophies, over time. And that's why they expect a lot from Enzo Maresca. But they should realize that it's a squad that is inexperienced. It's a young team. It's a squad that has been built not to even win trophies. Because Todd Bowley is not interested in trophies, man. We've seen it.
It's one investment.
Exactly. So it's a squad built not to win trophies. So if you can win the Conference League, fantastic. But they need to go back to the Champions League. See, because for the amount they have invested over the years under the Todd Bowley guys, they need to recoup some of it. And the money that comes to the Champions League. Yeah. There's a lot of money that comes in there. So if they make it back to the Champions League, beating Liverpool was the first step. Yeah, I didn't even know they were going to beat Liverpool, although Liverpool won the league. So beating Liverpool gives them, plus the fact that Nottingham Forest have now lost a bit of form. I think they play against Crystal Palace. But that Forest-Chelsea game might be like a Champions League playoff. It's shaping up to be like a Champions League playoff. But Chelsea have had an okay season. I think they started well. Remember when they were saying that we are not in the title race?
And that manifested.
And it manifested. They were trying to shy away for a bit, and it manifested on them. Kopama was balling until he went on that drought for like 3 months. I'm happy that he scored against Liverpool and played very well. Not just only scoring, he played very well as well. So I mean, they have already made it to the final. They've beaten Djurgården, but I worry for them against most likely Betis. Betis are playing good football. I mean, Betis know that they've got Fiorentina on Thursday, and the game is still hanging. I think it's 2-1 first leg. They still went to Espanyol and beat them 2-1. That's how good they've been. Anthony also is playing and maybe also has a point to prove, to England, that you people just they mock me that time, but I can get one over an English side, hopefully in the final. But I think that Chelsea, they've had an okay season, maybe not great season, but give Enzo Maresca some give him some allowance, give him some credit. He's been able to stabilize the team a bit, so they've had an okay season.
So before I let you go, let's talk about Slot. There was a Twitter, when they announced Slot, and of course, Salah said we are going to win the title, and I was, laughing under the comment, and people were coming, and saying, when they signed the Slot, were you also in school of thought that he's going to win the title, he's going to fumble in his first season?
How dare you win the title in your first season in England? I never saw that coming. I know 4 managers have done that previously, who have won it in their first Premier League season.
And with what club have done for several years.
Exactly, because this guy was coming and he was feeling big shoes. The weight of Jurgen Klopp I even thought was going to first bring him down. Yeah. And maybe in his second season he'll start finding his feet. But that guy comes in there and blows everybody away. My top 3 favorites for the league at the beginning of the season, Liverpool were not even there. I think I had Arsenal, I had Man City, and I had Liverpool also in the mix. Because what betides me if I put Man United in the list, by the way. So what he has done is he's also coached the team. And that's what people don't realize. See, it's important that a manager comes in, and even before he starts signing players, you can see the impact of his game management. Yeah. You can see it. He has coached Liverpool to the title. Because did he bring in any player?
Only, I think Chiesa.
Like Chiesa. Yeah. And Chiesa might not even collect a Premier League medal based on saying no play too many games. So he has been able to coach the team. He's managed the potential crisis that could have derailed the team. The futures of Van Dijk, the future of Salah, the future of Trent Alexander. He has handled everything very, very expertly. Is the way he even relates to the media. He's a very likable guy. He's a very humble guy. Even when they were coasting in the league, in the title race, he still kept it very, very calm. So I think that he's done an incredible job, and he's going to go into the summer rebuilding the team as well. So that even makes them favorites already, for next season. But what he has done, fantastic. I didn't see it coming. And once again, it's a triumph for coaches who know how to coach a team. That's what he's done.
Thank you very much, Oliwa. Of course, thanks for coming. Thanks for your
very much welcome.
For the first time, let you analyze.
I did that.
Don't be everything presented. That's your thoughts. You say.
Hey, let me dissect it.
Dissect it. That's what I have to. I just thought about it and who should I bring? Who should I bring?
Yeah, man. I would love to come here very much often. It's a fantastic
platform. The one that will burst everywhere, that's the Super Eagles. You have to, because they're always on the other side.
Oh, man.
Come and talk about the Super Eagles.
Definitely. I mean, the Super Eagles, we are not back in action until September. Yes. Although we are back in action for friendlies now. Yeah. This Jamaica Cup. But the real one is in September. We know it's a very, very long chance. Our odds are very long. But let's still wait for FIFA first. Yeah. South Africa, just help us come on those 3 points.
Thanks very much for coming, and subsequently we have you back in the studio to dissect several topics around sport and football. And guys, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Project Dissect. Make sure you turn on your notification button and get the videos as they drop. So come your way. Good luck to Arsenal and good luck to Barcelona. Bye for now.